Chris Conway from the Australian Stock Report live at our Melbourne studio. Chris, welcome into the show. Just worth pointing out as well, we're seeing a rally on Qantas shares of almost 2%, and that's despite a bit of a mixed rate on the crude price overnight. Your thoughts, though, back on Virgin as a proposition? Now we are in the black on this story.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, look, honestly, Virgin isn't a stock that I follow in great detail. I must admit, though, I'm a little bit surprised that the share price hasn't taken a turn higher on the back of what were seemingly very strong results. I think their full-year guidance was somewhere in the 90 million range, and they've done two-thirds of that in the first half of the year. So, look, it goes to the competitiveness in the space, and I think the fact that in terms of a turnaround story, both of which Qantas and Virgin have been undertaking, Qantas is much further down the road, probably hence why, again, we're seeing a 2% rise in Qantas today and not much appreciation in the Virgin share price. So, like I said, I don't cover it in great detail, but that would be my first assumption in terms of what's going on.
Chris, can we just talk broadly about the market today? Because we're up by about 0.5% to 24 points at 4,800. Of course, yesterday entering that technical bear market. What's next for the ASX then? Maybe we're taking some direction from reporting season, but where do you see us heading in the near term?
Look, a really good question, and I honestly still think that we're headed lower. I've been talking a lot recently about the 1870 level on the S&P 500 in the US and how a failure of that translates into worries for our market. 3 sessions ago, the S&P closed below that 1870 level, and we saw two triple-digit losses on the local market. A bit of a bounce today, but I think that is on the back of the market being oversold. And, you know, some strong results from Cochlear, that stock up 10%, driving the healthcare space. So back to your original question, I certainly still think that we head lower. 4,600 is probably the next significant level on the ASX 200. Might see a short-term bounce, as I said, from oversold levels, but I think ultimately we end up there.
Can we talk reporting season in more detail? Because Cochlear is soaring ahead today. It's up above over $100 now, a 10% gain for that one. What's driving this besides the currency? China story obviously is a good one for Cochlear this half.
Yeah, well, certainly they had strong unit sales, which is certainly a positive. I think there were some question marks around whether they could deliver on that. And the growth in the dividend, you know, it's back to levels that haven't been seen for some time. And now it's 100% fully franked, which again hasn't been for some time. So, yeah, there's certainly the FX tailwind, and that I think is a major reason why they've upgraded to the 180 to 190 million range. Some analysts were below that, so that should cause some EPS revisions. And I think it's those three elements that are feeding into the story. So FX, as you said, Ingrid, but strong unit sales and the growing dividend as well.
You've been topping up Macquarie, and just interested in that in light of what we did see as a significant sell down in US investment banks just a few sessions ago, not least of all on a Citi note that was calling out tough times ahead, the growth story there. Look at Goldman Sachs' worst share run in 3 years on that as the markets digested that news, but you're taking a fairly bullish view on Macquarie.
Yeah, well, it is a very short-term bullish view on Macquarie. The stock is grossly oversold. There are a number of technical indicators showing that it's, you know, languishing right down near the bottom in terms of oversold territory. I think their asset management business is stable, and the volatility in financial markets should help their capital markets business, although it is, you know, as we all know now, a much smaller portion of what Macquarie does. So really just looking for a short-term pop in that stock, back up to maybe $66. But as I said, a short-term move, grossly oversold. And, you know, the other thing that might provide some support is the fact that European banks bounced back strongly overnight.
All right, Chris Conway, we'll have to leave it there. Appreciate your time, though.
Thanks, guys.
I'll just mention